everyone, it's Dora from flippinghouses.pancakes.com, and today I thought I'd give you a little update on how my release party plans are going for my big cookbook release. So I'm getting ready to do this big book release party, and I am a list person. First of all, I have 5 kids. I have too many things going on. I don't remember anything. Do not ask me what page something's on. Do not ask me how much of anything I need. I don't remember. I need to write it down. So everything goes into my phone. My schedule goes into my phone. I have a paper copy. I have like a paper planner that I write in. And I have my calendar on my phone. That's how I remember when things are happening. I remember what I'm making for meals throughout the week by writing myself lists. So I write a list of all the meals I'm planning to make for that week at night. I write a list of all the food I'm planning to make for Shabbos. I write lists of everything. I write a list of my groceries that I'm going to need. I write a list of a to-do list for the day or for the week, or if we're getting ready to go on a trip, I'll write my packing list and to-do list before we leave town. And I write a lot of lists. So as I'm preparing for this release party, I obviously sat down and I wrote a lot of lists. So I'm going to show you some of the lists that I sat down and wrote. Okay, so I've been working pretty hard. I have somebody who's going to come and help me set up the table in the room, and she's picking out all the tablecloths. She's doing all the table decoration. I don't have to worry about that, which is amazing. That's really not my forte. I do like walls. I do tile and floor, and I don't really do table decorations, unfortunately. That's not my thing. So I hired somebody to do that, which is great. That will make my life a lot simpler in terms of like getting the room ready for the party. I also went ahead and hired somebody to help me in the kitchen to get all the food prepped and ready, because it's a lot of food. And I know I talked about it in a previous video about how I don't know how many people are coming. I don't know how many people are coming, so I have just come up with a random amount of food that I want to prepare, and that's what I'm going to be working on. I have had a lot of people ask me. I've had an ad go out. I've had posters and flyers go out. So people in the community have started to discover that I'm going to have a party, that I wrote a cookbook, things like that. And so I have been, I'm assuming people will show up to this party. I hope so. I hope people will come to the party. And so then it's just a matter of how many people will come, how much food do I need to prepare. So I actually recently sat down in between all of the holidays and everything and doing all of that food preparation. I sat down and started to work on my list. So I now have my menu. I've got my menu up. I wrote it down. I typed it out. So I know exactly what we're going to be serving. And I didn't want to do just a few items. I did want to have like a nice selection of food for people to try. So you'll be able to go in and you'll see like, oh, it's the, I'm going to pick something random. Like, oh, okay, it's the quinoa Israeli salad. And you'll be able to pick up a little dish of the quinoa Israeli salad and taste it. And it'll tell you that that's its name and which page it's on in the book so that people can find it. I can actually show it to you. I'm going to show you. I have my book here, but the for example, a quinoa Israeli salad, and so that when they go and they buy the book, they'll be able to find it so that they can eat it. They know that's what they had. So for example, this is my quinoa Israeli salad. You see it right here. It's really tasty, but they'll know, I'm going to write quinoa Israeli salad, and I'm going to write it's on page 100, and that way they'll be able to look and see and know that what they're tasting is really what's in the book. That's how it's going to look. That's how it's going to taste. So I sat there, I made this list, right? And I wrote down not only what I'm going to make, but how many times the recipe I'm going to make. I don't know if these are good amounts, but I'm hoping I know which salad makes a lot, which salad makes a little, which dessert makes the whole bunch, and which dessert makes just a few. And I multiplied it by a random number to see what I think I need. So for example, I'm going to do, you can see my quinoa salad right there. I'm going to do 3 times my recipe, and then we're going to plate them on little small amounts. I hope that's enough. We're going to find out, I guess. So if you're coming to my party, I would suggest coming earlier if you want to make sure all the food is there. Hopefully it'll be there later too. I hope I'm making plenty. I think I'm making plenty. But so I did write this list. I went through. One of the reasons I decided I had to do it this way and figure out exactly how many times each recipe I'm going to make, how I'm going to multiply each recipe, is because then I went and I sat down and I wrote a shopping list. And I'll tell you as I wrote it. Oh, I'm sorry. Does that look long? It's not. Here's the rest of the shopping list. Here's the rest of the shopping list. So this is the shopping list that I wrote for all the food that I'm going to be preparing with my help. We're going to be preparing all this food for the party. And it's just, I wrote down pretty much everything except for, I think, salt. I think that might have been the only thing that I didn't calculate. I literally calculated like how many cups of lemon juice I need. How many, let's see, it says like, how many cans of mandarin orange slices do I need? How much, how many apples I need for all my recipes? How much baking soda I need to make sure I have on hand so that I can make sure that I have what I need. How much rum? I need to go buy some rum. I just finished mine. So I didn't drink it. I just put it in baked goods. I did just finish it, so I need to go buy some more. So this is my big shopping list. They say things like, let's see if I can find like 7 cups of peanut butter, like 16 cups of chocolate chips. I hope that these are the right amounts of everything that I need, but exactly. So I wrote my menu. I wrote how many times each, what multiple of each recipe I'm going to be making, and I wrote my shopping list out so that I can do that. I have about 2 weeks after Yom Tov, after all the holidays are over, to go shop, cook, prepare everything. Obviously, most of the food is going to be prepared either the night before or that morning. Everything will be done fresh. There will be a few things that I can make a little further ahead and freeze, like some of the cookies and things like that. So in addition to my menu list, in addition to my shopping list, like my grocery list, I also wrote a list of when I'm going to make and prepare each thing. So I sat down and I worked my way backwards. I often like to make my lists backwards, which sounds kind of strange. I'll explain it in a minute. But in this case, I wrote what I needed to do right before the party. So Sunday morning, the party starts at 11. I have only so many hours before that. You know, if I'm up at 7, obviously I've got 4 hours. I will be up before 7 doing preparation for this party. And I have to make sure to leave myself time to probably fix my hair and makeup and look decent for the party. But so I made sure that I wrote a list of all the things that absolutely must be done that morning. If it could be done the night before, it went down on the next thing. So first I started with must be done right now, like right before the party. Then I have my list of things that could be done the night before, Motzei Shabbos or Saturday night. Now that also happens to be the same night that the clocks change. So we fall back. So I think I get an extra hour. So that should help a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then anything that could be done even further in advance, I went ahead and put on Friday afternoon. So I have my Sunday morning, my Saturday night, my Friday afternoon, and then I have a very, very short list of things that could be made and frozen. And that involves like some cookies, essentially a few items that can be made and frozen ahead of time for this party, because the stuff that I'm making is not freezer food. Almost all of it needs to be made really fresh right now. So this stuff, and there's plenty of freezer type food in my book, plenty of things that you can make and freeze, but I happen to not be doing those foods for my party. So all of this stuff pretty much has to be made fresh. And by making this list, I know that I will make sure to have gotten everything done when it needed to get done. And so that really helps. And when I say that I work my way backwards on lists, I make another list that I usually make during the year, and this will scare people. Don't be afraid. I know it's just Sukkot time. It's the fall. We don't have to think about it yet. But I do make a list when I'm getting ready for Passover, for Pesach, because I clean the house from top to bottom, obviously. Actually, not specifically from top to bottom, but the whole house gets cleaned. And I don't like to do it very quickly. I think when I get close to Pesach, maybe I'll do another video about how I managed to get my house all clean for Pesach. I start after Hanukkah, which is very scary for most people, but it makes my life a lot simpler. But the way I plan that is I actually open up my planner, I find the week that says Pesach, and I work my way backwards from there. I figure out what needs to be cleaned, like how soon I need my kitchen to be turned over for Passover, for Pesach, how soon that has to be ready. And then I work my way backwards through the rooms and write it down each week as I go. And like I said, I'll do a video when I get closer to Pesach, and I'll explain my technique, closer to then. But I start at the end and I work my way back, because that way I know how much time I have. So in this case, I'm starting at the end, like right before the party, and I'm going to work my way backwards. So I know if I have to get this much done here, what can I get done a little further out? Is there anything that can get done on Friday? Which actually, a lot of the stuff can get done on Friday. And then a lot of things are like each part of the recipe is getting done and then things are getting assembled later, sort of thing. It depends on, again, what the recipe was. And if there's anything that being frozen that I can do in the 2 weeks leading up to that, just to spread it out as much as possible. And still, for the most part, it is going to be a Saturday night, Sunday morning sort of food prep fun. Those are my food prep things. That's how I'm prepping right now for the party. Then in addition to that, I made lists of things like, what do I need for the party? So I have my books. I would like people to have bags. So I went and I found bags. Actually, they look cute. I like them. You put a bag in them. If somebody buys a book, they'll get the bag to go, so that they can carry the book in the bag. I got an apron. I actually have somebody in the community currently working on it. She's putting my logo on the apron so that when I do the cooking demos and stuff, I don't splatter myself, because I'm definitely the type of person to splatter myself. But it will have my logo on it, which I think will be fun. And then just like starting to piece all of the stuff together. I got past a lot of the, what am I going to make? I did that. Who am I going to have help me? I got that done. And the lady who is going to be setting up the tables and things, she's buying most of the little plates and the little containers that we're going to be serving the food in. So I don't have to worry about that, which is really nice. And just working out all those little details, and I'm really excited. I hope it's going to come out. Really nicely. I will give you another update at some point when I have more for you, and maybe as I'm getting stuff ready, as I'm getting closer to the party, I'll do another update again. And of course, we'll do some videoing at the party so that anybody who can't join us will be able to experience some of what we did and get to see how everything went. If you like this video, please go ahead and click like, subscribe to my channel, click the bell for notifications so you know every time I upload something new. And of course, go check out my website, flippinghousesandpancakes.com, where, by the way, you can now order my book. It is available. I will ship it to you if you're not in the local area. If you're in the local area, I will bring it to your house. Go ahead. It's on my website, flippinghousesandpancakes.com. It's also available on Amazon.